Hi, this is John Rowell for the Rowell Report. Today is Friday, November 21st, 2025, and there is a video here on the Ministry of Defense, Russia Federation, regarding a captured Ukrainian prisoner of war, and he tells a little bit about what's going on in Ukraine. Of course, all this you have to take with a certain grain of salt, but anyway, he gives some pretty surprising information confirming what many people have been saying for quite some time. This person's name is Alexander Boychuk. He was taken prisoner in the Pokrovsk direction. 10 minutes after arriving at his position, he was captured. So here we go with what's going on there. Says near Pokrovsk, I was sent to a dugout to observe the territory. We walked for 2 days, entered the dugout, and after 5 to 10 minutes, Russian troops captured us. So the Ukrainian forces aren't even able to get set in their defensive positions. They're being identified, and the Russians are first offering them the possibility of surrendering. Of course, it doesn't give much information about how the exchange went, but anyway, according to Boychuk, Russian servicemen gave him some food and water, providing him with the necessary medical care. And here is, I would say, the first big surprise as far as a Ukrainian soldier saying this. We had heard this from others on YouTube, but anyway, the Ukrainian side attempted to eliminate its own soldiers who surrendered. The enemy used UAVs, the drones, with a payload release system to hit Ukrainian troops. In addition, Alexander Boychuk also mentioned that when he was on a training ground, he saw foreign mercenaries who treated well instead of mobilized citizens of Ukraine. We don't quite understand that. This is not a good translation from whatever it was. The prisoner told about widespread bribery in the ranks of Ukrainian commanders and security agencies. It turned into a system. So, anyway, there was some information here that was added and then suddenly was removed, but it was talking about the amounts that were being paid. Could it be up above? No. So there was more comments of his that were added and then suddenly they were removed. I had just received this post, and they talked about the police officer getting money for basically arresting people for no reason, and then turning them over to the military recruiter office to be mobilized. They're getting, so there is also, depending on where you wanted to go, you needed to pay money. Those who didn't have any money obviously went to the worst frontline positions. That was what was being reported by this Ukrainian soldier. It says Boychuk described the situation in Ukraine, saying that the foreign financial aid to Ukraine and to the armed forces of Ukraine is completely imperceptible by ordinary servicemen. So all the money, the billions and billions and billions that European countries, the US, Canada, and other countries are sending to Ukraine just goes into the pockets of Zelensky. We already heard about the corruption scandal. Then there was a pushback from the Europeans that they didn't want any more corruption scandals to come out because this was affecting the Ukrainians' morale. And, some are saying that what the Europeans want is for the Ukrainians to fight to the last man, I guess to the last retiree, because now they're dealing with 60-year-olds. But basically they're doing, they're basically trying to extort Zelensky to start mobilizing the 18 to 23-year-olds, or they will start divulging all kinds of information about corruption within the Ukrainian government. Anyway, these are all information that is out there, and it's very difficult to confirm anything because these agencies all seem to act when it's convenient to them and to provide information when it's convenient to them. Even like the individual who's called the Zelensky's wallet, he was away when they investigated his home and found sacks of money that could have been planted. We don't know. If he had already left the country, maybe on a family trip, maybe on vacation, maybe for some other reason. And so they decided to create this scenario where he was corrupt and they found all this money. It's hard to say really what's going on, but basically the soldier is saying that wherever the money is going in Ukraine, the soldiers aren't seeing it. In fact, they have to pay to try to get a better location on the front line. So anyway, of course, take it or leave it. It's up to you whether you want to believe these surrendered Ukrainian soldiers. And of course, you can go here to the Telegram channel for the Ministry of Defense in Russia Federation, and you can watch the video yourself. I'm not going to play it, but you certainly can listen to yourself, and we have different excerpts of that from here. Okay, well, actually, they hadn't deleted the information. It was just hidden down below. Sorry about that. So let me get into this information. So the prisoner talked about widespread bribery, and says there are those who serve in a nominally way. These soldiers gave their bank cards to a commander to stay home, but the commander does everything well, and the money soldiers had to be paid to go to the commander, said Boychuk. Okay, I don't really understand that, but basically corruption to stay home. That the TRC, I think these are the recruitment officers, take people on the TRC officers take people on the front line. If they catch you and you have some money, officers immediately ask for 2,000, letting you go. But until the next combat post, there is the same situation in the police. If an officer catch a person, he asks for money. The officer is paid 10,000 Ukrainian hryvnia for each person. The more people an officer takes, the more money he gets. Well, some of these translations need some work, but anyway, basically he is stating that there is widespread corruption, and in the end, all the billions that are sent to Ukraine never get to the actual soldier or to benefit them, to keep them safe, and to give them training. And so anyway, that is my video about this surrendered prisoner of war who is accusing of widespread bribery and corruption in the armed forces of Ukraine. So again, take it or leave it. Take it with a grain of salt, whatever. And you're welcome to watch this video, all this information. Some of it is more believable than other information, but we do know because of the white cards, those military exemptions from being mobilized for those people with medical conditions, was being sold on the, they could basically go to the internet, contact someone, and you'd pay money. You would go to the recruitment office. They would give you the exemption, and so anyway, there is widespread corruption. Exactly how deep it is and how wide ranging, what it costs and all that, it's hard to say. But anyway, I want to thank you for joining this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Thank you for supporting this channel. And if you have any comments to make, please leave it below and below the video. Look forward to hearing back. What do you think about this captured Ukrainian soldier, prisoner of war? Is he lying? Is he telling the truth? How deep does the corruption go in Ukraine? So anyway, I look forward to hearing from you, what you have to think about that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.